Horns up and welcome back to Headbanger's Kitchen. I've got none other than Nolan Lewis from Kryptos on the show. Hey Nolan, good to finally have you on Headbanger's Kitchen.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here.
Really?
No, I can't.
Yes, so I want to ask you, the first thing obviously is why the reluctance to be on the show?
Dude, I don't translate well to camera.
So that's just all it is. It's not.
I'm just shy, man.
So it has nothing to do with being true or cult and being on a cooking show will hurt your.
That's the. Not supposed to say that on camera. Just supposed to say I'm shy.
But you're not shy. Still shy. Okay. But speaking of the being cult and true and all, you're quite vocal about that part of being metal, So what really is metal to you? And what? How do you define a poser?
I'm a fucking jazz guitarist. What are you talking? No, man. I know it seems like that, but it's actually, when it comes to this kind of music, I'm very passionate about it. So it might seem like I'm an asshole when it comes to these things, but I'm an asshole. But it's because of, how do you say it? It's because you grow up with the shit and you subscribe to all these ideals, blah 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 and stuff. And it becomes a part of you. And it's the beer talking, by the way. So it's like, it comes to a point where it's like, in my opinion, there's real metal and there's everything else. It's either this or that. There's nothing in between. So if you're, people say, oh man, you're not open-minded to this shit and that shit and something. So what? That's just the way it is. I mean, I don't care because in my mind, I think this is right. I mean, I don't give a shit what if you listen to fucking Coldplay or Carnival or I don't know what the fuck that, whatever. So, by the way, Carnival fans are going to give me hate for this. So anyway, I don't care about that stuff. It's like, this is what I like. This is what this shit means to me, and that's
what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, but so hey guys, don't make him laugh, man.
What? I'm fucking just hanging out. I can see a mouth. Fucking.
He's getting all psyched, dude. You want to answer questions?
Correct.
Okay. So speaking of real metal, as you mentioned, what falls under real metal for you then? Because I mean, you do listen to a lot of metal. It's not that you don't. You listen to a lot of power metal. I mean, I got a lot of power metal, death metal, even black metal from you.
Really?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like me.
But not too much black metal.
Sounds like my wife.
So what is real metal for you?
Honestly speaking, there's no such thing as real metal, but there is. It's kind of like for me, real metal is bands like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, maybe even Saxon, Accept, bands like that. It's from this. You could say that it all started in the 70s, but the bands that actually defined the whole sound came about in the 80s, and that's exactly what metal's all about. It was all about it's just being free, man. Free from everything. You don't have to. That's the feeling these bands give me when I listen to like Priest or Maiden and stuff. I feel free. I don't feel like the weight of the world is on my shoulders or something. I don't give a fuck about anything. It's just that I feel alive. It's that simple. That's exactly what metal music should make you feel like. It should make you feel like everything's okay. Everything you can fucking do anything. It shouldn't be like, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of. I love a lot of death metal, doom, blah blah, but it's the very essence of this whole thing is captured in these very few bands, and and they all happen to come from an era where they were all trying to break out from something, and which is what we all are trying to do even till today. And being in a country like India, we are always looking to break out of something or the other, but we just need to, I don't know, we've lost our way somehow along the way. We just need to get back to that point in time, and everything's right there. You know, all your answers are right there.
All right. But what do you feel about then for kids who may experience the same feeling with, say, metalcore music, which you vehemently detest and call unmetal even at times?
If they get it from that music, that's great, man. But it doesn't do anything for me. It's just, as our parents would say, it's just noise. So, yeah. So I may be an old fart and stuff, but it's not my thing. Seriously, it's like I don't want to see a bunch of guys in shorts, like, slippers. It's not my shit. So,
alright.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go straight into the fan questions now, because this has been an episode that a lot of people have been looking forward to, and I think this is the essence of this episode, is your fans who have been dying to see you on the show.
Fans?
Yeah. Okay, so the first one is from a guy called Munis Javed, who says, my question, why do people, in brackets, in India, like metal when they like pages of political parties and leaders? Don't they have the balls, or they're just posers showing that we listen to evil music?
That's, you know what, that's actually, I agree with him. You know, to me, if rock and roll is all about, it's about being free from everything. In my opinion, you cannot listen to rock and roll or heavy. I mean, it's fuck, man. It's just like no politics, no fucking religion, no fucking nothing. It's just yourself. That's the whole point of this music. To be yourself, to be an individual, to not be governed by anybody else's words or thoughts or deeds or whatever the fuck, you know. You just have to be yourself. You don't need some guy, some fucking asshole standing on a podium saying, you know, don't eat beef, don't do this, don't. Fuck off, man. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. It's like, it's my life. Nobody should dictate what I should be doing except me. So I don't get it. I find it strange. I mean, yeah, if you subscribe, if you listen to metal and you subscribe to some religion or political party, fine. Right? If it makes you happy, go for it. For me, no, it does not work. I just don't understand it. You know, I mean, funnily enough, I listen to Striper also from time to time, but they had nice yellow pants.
Alright,
maybe we should take that off.
Yeah, okay. Alright. The next question is from Pratik Khare, and he asks, how does it feel when a fanboy cries listening to your music? So apparently there were a lot of people crying at your Pune show. And
yeah, I cry when I listen to music. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
When you listen to who?
Our music. You don't know what shit ever.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's gonna be censored.
Alright, but you don't feel anything else about it?
How will I feel anything?
Yeah.
Because for me it's like...
But you've cried for bands, so...
Yeah, I have cried for bands, but that was like...
years ago.
Yeah, years ago. Probably now I'll do something else. Hand in the band.
Hand? You gross, Nolan. Alright. Next question is from Arnab Mitra, and he asks, what are your favorite non-metal bands? Do you have any?
Non-metal bands. I don't know if Thin Lizzy counts as non-metal band. Yeah, I guess they do. Yeah. Whitesnake, Thin Lizzy. Yeah, Deep Purple is definitely not they're not a metal band, but yeah, I love Deep Purple. Who else? Someone off-field. I love Jeff Buckley. I think he's fucking awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright. The next question is from Prakash Gupta, and he asks, what actually, according to Nolan Lewis, is a journey of a band? What is his personal view for people with different genre in the same metal scene?
Honestly, just give up. Go on a vacation.
Go on a vacation and give up.
Go on a vacation, get something. No, but seriously, it's not as easy as you think. It's not like you just decide to do this one day and it's like blah blah blah. It happens over time, and it's You need to put in a lot of effort, sacrifice, especially sacrifice. You need to have a lot of patience with things. You need to know your limits. You need to know so many things, and you can't do this shit overnight. It takes years and years, as you know, obviously. I get this question from a lot of bands actually, like how do we do this? How do we get ourselves going and stuff? I'm like, first thing you need to do is sort yourself out. You need to sort yourself out as a band, as people. You need to know. I mean, if all of you are not moving in the right direction, in the same direction, one direction. Shameless plug.
Yes, shameless plug for your favorite
band.
So if you're not all moving in one direction,
if you're not moving in the same direction, you're just never gonna. It's not gonna happen. It's like if this guy's into this shit, blah blah. You might last a couple of years, and eventually you're just gonna collapse. It's very important that everyone's on the same page, not only personality-wise, but musically. You guys have. I don't know, man. It's like you would never catch me playing with a guy who worships like bands like Slipknot and Uncut. That's not my thing, and that's our band isn't like that. So
you should all be on the same page.
Yeah,
have the same
everybody
goal.
needs to be on the same page. And I spill beer on your floor.
That's okay. We'll mop it up later.
I can lick it out. Anyway, but everyone needs to be on the same page. If someone in the band isn't seeing eye to eye with the rest of the guys, make the call, cut them out immediately. If you want to get somewhere, you need to make hard decisions. This shit nothing comes easy.
Yeah.
You have to make tough decisions. There's no room for my brother, my friend. There's no room for all that stuff. If you really want to get somewhere, you need to. It's like you have to sacrifice half your soul. It's a deal with the devil.
Okay, so now the next question. Two people had the same thing they wanted to ask. Aryadeep Mitra asked, why is Kryptos recording with a Marshall MG of all amps, followed by Saptak, who said why Kryptos is using a 10-watt Marshall amp for the upcoming album, unsure emoticon.
Oh my god, it's the end of the world.
Yeah, I was curious about this. So what is the deal with the Marshall 10-watt?
It's damn weird. It's like, we tried a whole bunch of amps, like, full stacks, blah blah and stuff. But our new albums, the way it's gonna sound, it doesn't need that. I mean, we keep talking about going back to the roots of things and stuff that, at one point, it even boils down to what equipment you use. It boils down to it's just the way you do things. We actually just tried out the 10-watt amp just for the fuck of it, like let's see. And it actually sounded pretty close to what we wanted it to sound, yeah. Because the new album isn't really going to be heavy. There's not much. Yeah, we had a lot of thrash influences before. Most of that is gone. It's more in line with the 70s proto metal stuff, the Thin Lizzy and some of the NWO BHM bands and stuff. But that's what we're trying to get at, And funnily enough, the sample was actually perfect for that. It captured that sound. We wouldn't have used it otherwise.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it's not a question. I know it sounds bizarre. It looks bizarre, like fuck, a 10-watt amp.
Yeah.
Who the fuck uses that? But if it works, it works. I mean, why complicate shit? Why break your head about things like I need to do this by this way and this? No, you can do anything. You can
freedom, as you say.
Yeah, man. You can record your album on a fucking Walkman, and who knows, it might sound good. Yeah, who knows, it might.
Well, Burzum did something like that actually.
Yeah, but he doesn't count.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Again, this was two different people asking about something similar. Harsha asked, just out of curiosity, what was the idea behind using the gladiator speech in the song The Revenant? And Rohan asked, what is the underlying meaning of the song The Revenant?
That song was more about, it's more about believing in yourself, basically. It's more like it was set in a way, like you have this. I mean, back then we were dealing in all these very historical, mythological
Stories.
things and stuff. So it's basically about this army. I mean, there's like a warring scene between two armies and stuff. And one army decides to give up because the odds are against them. But one guy stands up and he's like, you know what? I'm not giving up. It's like I'm just not giving up. You can join me if you want, but I'm getting out there and I'm gonna fight. And everyone else is like,
We're with you.
they're with you. Yeah. It's exactly how I look at music, the band, and honestly speaking, even the Indian metal scene. That's what every fucking band needs to do that. It's like we have odds that, I mean, the odds are completely stacked against us, regardless of what anyone might think.
Yeah.
But you just have to fucking stand up for what you believe. If you don't, then you're not going to get anywhere, man. You have to get up in the morning and you'll be like, fuck, dude, I don't give a shit. I'm going to fucking own this shit, man. It's otherwise, what? You're going to sit up, you suit up, you go to work, you sit down, okay, I'm done. I do that, but that's not how I want to be. I want to be like, fuck, I don't give a shit what you throw at me. I'm going to fucking get through everything. I'm going to reach the other side, regardless.
Well, 15 years, I mean.
And you know it. That's exactly. That's why, that's the difference between a guy who just talks and a guy who does some shit.
That's the difference.
You get up in the morning and you say, I don't give a fuck, I'm getting through all this shit. You have to have, even if you think it's impossible, it doesn't matter. You have to say to yourself, no problem. You throw whatever the fuck you want at me, I'm fucking getting through this shit. And I will be there at the other side. And whoever said you can't make it, I'll be at the other side and I'll be like, exactly.
Alright. Next question is from Tulip Das. Why does Kryptos not sell merch and CDs as regularly as I do?
Because we're not as good as you.
Okay, yeah.
No, but seriously, the thing is, see, when I was growing up, I didn't have social media or people telling me you should listen to this, buy that, blah blah blah. So it was like I discovered things on my own. Like I still remember when I got my first Candlemas album. I actually thought these guys lived in a cave in a mountain, and I was like, fuck, this is like the most amazing music ever. And I got it on like a recorded tape or something. And it kind of stirs your imagination. You really get into that shit, and it's like it's not in us to tell people that buy our stuff, or it's once in a while we'll tell them it's available and stuff like that. But I want people to, if they don't really get what we're trying to do, then I don't think you should buy our stuff. And I'm telling you very openly, if you don't really agree with what we do, if you think, if what we're doing doesn't fit with your way of thinking, I don't know what, but if you're not into this shit, just don't buy our stuff. We don't give a shit about money, we don't give a shit about making this. We don't give a fuck, man. Otherwise, we'd be all over fucking social media or wherever, like just here, take, it's all available. But that's not how it is, man. Now, even when our album released, I wasn't like, oh, album's out here, please buy it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want people to, it's the same way how I discovered music. I would hear a track by Fate's Warning or Riot or some. I would hear it on like a compilation tape somewhere. Fuck, this band is awesome. And my curiosity would be, and I would be like, I need to get this shit no matter what. It starts building inside you. You feel that. You feel you just want to listen to more of this shit. And then you make the effort. Now, people are fucking lazy nowadays.
That's true.
People are fucking lazy. The internet has made people lazy as shit. You know, and you can sit on your chair, you can sit like, fuck. You click a button and everything's done. It wasn't like that back then.
Of course.
You know, when back then it was so fucking difficult. I fucking walked half of Bangalore on foot from morning till evening to get one fucking Slayer tape. And I walked from shop to shop to shop to shop till I got that tape. And when I got that tape, it was like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Who the fuck does that nowadays, man? I mean, people don't appreciate this shit. I want us to be a band where I don't want it to be like, we drill it into someone's head until the point where it's like it's just like, oh fuck man, I'm just gonna click this link and I don't want that. I want someone to be like, he just listens to us out of the blue, or he's like, okay, I like what I hear. Let me dig a bit deeper.
Makes the effort.
Yeah, it makes the effort. You need to make some fucking effort for this shit, man. And if we are making the effort, make some fucking effort. It's not like, this shit doesn't, I don't know. If the musicians are making the effort, you need to make some effort. You need to get in there and, I don't know, just
make the effort, guys.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to tell you. Alright, next question, Nolan. Another one on similar lines.
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. The next question is from Vinay Joshi and he asks, why are they so slow at making new albums?
Yeah, that's a good question actually. That's because we spend like 3 years just fucking around. No, it's I mean, you can't, I don't like to rush things. We can't, just churn out an album just whenever we feel like it. It has to come from within. And with this band, I've noticed, no matter who's in the band, it just so happens that it happens every 4 years. I don't know why.
I think it's an Indian thing because we have jobs. We don't go into a studio and write for like 30 days.
And you need inspiration to
write.
To come. I mean, you can't just force yourself to do something. It has to hit you at one point and then start flowing. For some reason, it happens every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
We're like February.
Yeah. Yep. So now you know why Kryptos takes so long.
Yep.
And so does BM and Scribe and even DR. All for 4 year club. Yeah, February bands. Alright.
Feb 4.
Yes, the Feb 4. The next question is from Harsh Tiwari. Actually, it's not just one question. He's got 3 questions.
Is he still crying?
Is he still crying? Harsh, if you're crying, we'll send you a few tissues. Anyway, he asks, which guitarist or band do you consider to be your greatest influence? Judas Priest. Yeah, I know that answer. Alright. Which album had an impact on you which reflects in your style of playing?
As much as Judas Priest is my favorite metal band ever, but we have the album that really got me into everything was Peace of Mind. I mean that shit blew my mind. It still blows my mind. 25 fucking years later, and I still listen to it. I'm like, goosebumps. That's where it all started.
Alright. And you had an ESP EX series earlier, now a Gibson Explorer. Why only Z-shaped guitars?
Because there are no Y-shaped guitars. if anyone makes a Q-shaped guitar, I would try.
Alright. If you have a Q-shaped guitar, Nolan Lewis is in the market for one.
Yes.
Alright. So that's all the fan questions. Thank you guys for asking and sending in those questions. So now my questions, back to my questions. Since we are a food show, let me quickly ask you about food. Obviously, I know you don't do any cooking of your own.
I can't even boil water.
Can't even boil water. But what do you like to eat? What are your favorite foods?
Seafood. I'm a mangy, man. Fuck, if I don't eat seafood, I can't survive.
You can't survive. So if you had a last meal before your execution or your death, what would you order?
Rice, dal, fried fish, beans, boiled beans.
That's
Yeah.
maybe cabbage.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day when someone orders cabbage for their last meal.
Cabbage is only for the
I think you'll be dead.
not me, everyone else.
Alright. Somebody else had mentioned this, and you're very vocal on Ask FM about certain opinions, and the one that's I think piqued everyone's interest has been, what is your deal with Brahma?
You don't need to have a deal with drama. But honestly, they're the best band I've seen. I mean, if I ever can play with them, it'll be like, I'll touch their feet seriously. I mean, have you seen that solo and Unfriend? Fuck, it's a masterpiece. If I could make it into a painting and put it on my wall.
Alright. So there's no deal, it's just.
And I've learned how to club my bands because of it. I mean, I like that. That kind of stuff, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so speaking more about the Indian metal scene, you are again very vocal about how much you think it sucks and all the bands sucks and you don't like any Indian metal bands. And at the same time, you have very surprisingly put forward this really hopeful view in some of the questions earlier that go forth and fight and you have the power to do.
I thought we're dusty.
So you still believe the Indian metal scene is shit?
Yeah, it's still shit. It's still shit. I'm sorry, but it's shit. Seriously. You know what the biggest problem with the Indian metal scene is? We don't have fucking attitude. We don't have fucking belief in what we do. We make excuses all the way through. I have this, I have a job, I have a fucking girlfriend, I have fucking family, I have religion, I have... Fuck, if you want to do this, fucking get out of that shit. Make the sacrifice, get your head in the game. Fuck, you're not going to go anywhere, man. Otherwise, you're going to play a gig down the road in a pub with 20 people. Maximum you'll play to like 60 people somewhere. If that's your scene, killer. Go for it. If you want to do something more than that, you need to fucking get out of this shit, because this shit doesn't work. And we come from a country that just does not let this shit work. So you need to make it fucking work. And the only way to make it fucking work is to get out of that shit and get into this shit. If that makes sense.
That's a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Alright. Then where does that put Kryptos in the whole equation then?
That's the whole thing. We've gotten out of this thing. I mean, see, we are regular guys. We have jobs, we have families, three of us are married, blah blah. But none of that shit stops us from doing what we do. We've made sure that none of this affects. I've come across fucking tons of bands who become my closest friends. They're like, oh man, we can't play music anymore. My family says this. My job says this, my wife says this. Then you were never meant to do this in the first place, man. If you really want to fucking do it, get out of it. Get your head in the game. It's not gonna work.
But what about the bands that are doing this? Or
How many are?
even if they're, so are they cool with you then? So there's like a Gut Slate, a DR.
No, see, honestly speaking, if any band that gets out of here and does shit on their own, takes the risk, jumps in. It jumps into uncharted territory. I fucking respect, man. You need to get out there. I was having a talk with Samson from System House. They did it. Damn good, man. You guys have to get out there. I mean, what are you doing over here? Yeah, it's cool. You're playing a couple, very cool and stuff. Get the fuck out there. See what things are really like, because that should open your eyes. Like,
of course,
you won't believe it, and you know it. Yeah, exactly. So take the plunge, and as I see it right now, only a few. I think a handful of bands. Very few. I think it's the two of us, maybe System House and Gut Slate and
Sky Harbor.
Sky Harbor's anyway.
Now they're all Indian.
Yeah, but Sky Harbor is like
Sky Harbor.
India, yeah. So it doesn't matter what music you play, it doesn't matter where you come from, blah blah. take the plunge, man. I mean, yeah, if it goes balls up, who cares?
Yeah.
At least you tried.
You tried it.
You tried. If you don't try, how will you ever know? You don't want to be on your deathbed at 80 and like, fuck, I wish I tried that shit.
Okay, and speaking of all this, let's just final question as so do you believe that the Indian scene will ever go anywhere, or is it just you have lost hope or you have no hope in the Indian scene? Do you believe that we could be somewhere maybe 10 years, 15, 20 years down the line, or
Honestly speaking, no.
no? That's depressing.
It is depressing.
Yeah. But let's talk about something a little more positive then. What's happening with Kryptos this year? So new album, tour, what can we expect?
We should wrap up our recording probably mid-April. The album should be out in a couple of months after that. It depends on the label and they decide to release it and stuff. But yeah, in July we're hitting Germany again.
Also, we've been booked for like 6 festivals.
Yeah, and more are coming. So should be quite bad.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to book a festival? You know, especially for a lot of Indian bands who want to go and play festivals. How easy or hard is it to actually get a slot at one of these festivals?
It's not easy, man. You honestly speaking, if you need to get anywhere in Europe, you need a fucking booking agent. And you can do it once in a while. I mean, you can do it yourself, but to do it, the key word is consistency. You need to do it year on year on year. The only way to do it is to have somebody over there doing this shit for you. And that's where a booking agent comes in. Without that, you can't. I mean, you can do it 1 year maybe. You might get lucky with so and so. The next year, nothing.
Yes,
and the year after that, blah blah. You have to have somebody there. You need to at least identify where your main
Market is.
Yeah, you could call it market, but I prefer to call it
Scene.
watering holes.
Watching. Awesome. Alright Nolan, thank you for being on Headbanger's Kitchen. I am really glad you enjoyed the bacon cake that you had earlier. And thank you for this interview. And hopefully you won't be shy to come on the show again.
No, I will. I would love to.
Alright, so pester Nolan to come on the show next year maybe, when the new album is out.
Yes, I'll be here again.
And we'll see you on the next episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Done. I have so many more questions to ask about your doom politics and all.
You should ask it.
Jack.
Jack.
Where's Jack?